Hey guys, it's Kim, Angel Dream Crafts, and I am here today with my first DT project for the month of September for Craft Supplies for You. And this time I have created some gift bags for a friend. She has a birthday coming up, so I wanted to do something fun. And let me just grab something here. I was totally inspired by the lovely Miss Olivia Hernandez and this amazingly beautiful bag that she created for me. So I was totally inspired by that, but I put a different bit of a spin on it. So let me share, isn't that beautiful? Let me share with you what I did. I took some music paper and I sewed my own bags. And this is the first one. This is a little one. And I actually, when I sewed these, of course, if you just sew them flat like a page to each other, you're not going to get much room. So I had to create like a little sort of gusset at the bottom of the bag. I believe that's what it's called. Let me just share here. And you can see at the bottom of the bag here, just so you have a little bit of extra room. Now this one's small, but you'll be able to see it better on the bigger bags. But you can see there, just to do that, just so you can get your hand in there, and especially in the smaller ones, so you can put some goodies in there. But all I did was take some paper and sew it up on my sewing machine and then decorate it. And I used lots of yummy goodies from Craft Supplies for You. So on this little tiny one, I've used this trim here, which is from KS4U, this beautiful little white one. And the buttons are from the button bag that Julie sells in her store. This trim underneath here, I actually avocado dyed, and it's white. There we go. It's actually white, but I avocado dyed it, and it took the avocado dye just beautifully. So I added a little bit of pink because I wanted to pick up the pink in the image. And I did get some inspiration from Olivia's bag because she had done a bit of embossing powder and mica flakes. So I did do that on this little one, just playing around with it. I had so much fun creating these. And so you can see in spots here, there's some mica flakes, and down here there's a bit of embossing powder. And then on the back, I just used a punch for that, and then I altered some clothespins on each one of them. So that's the first little one, and now I've made like 3 big ones. So I'll show you this one first. This is the first one. Let me move my camera up just slightly. This is the first one I created, and my friend loves green and color, so that's why I've gone with this color palette. And to achieve the green that you see here, I actually used the Prima Bloom Spray, the soft teal, and it came out a beautiful color that matched. So, and I've used on this bag this beautiful Venice trim right here, which is new in Julie's store. I created the bag the same way. I used music paper, sewed it up, and I created the little space at the bottom there to make the bag more dimensional so she can open it up, and I can put things that are a bit wider in here. So this is the one side that I did, and this is actually a pink paisley paper, and I sewed it all around. And there's that. You can see I sewed all the way around the bird cage. And then this, I just sewed down the middle of the butterfly. It's actually dimensional. So cute. And on the bottom here, this one is actually a vintage trim from my stash, this green one. But underneath that is a beautiful trim from Craft Supplies for You right there. Let me see if I can get there. There we go. That one is from Craft Supplies for You. And then this beautiful dangle trim underneath here is also from Craft Supplies for You. So that's what I did there. Up here you can see this flower applique, which is from Craft Supplies for You. And then this is actually one of her newer trims, but I don't have it handy. I don't think. I'm so sorry. And it was in this lovely minty green color, so I rolled a small portion of it, and I just made a little flower for the top. This was a lace from my stash that I sprayed. And I did create a little clothespin just to put on the top to keep it closed. I was going to use magnets, but I thought this is cuter. So I did that. And this bag is actually quite deep, but it is quite dimensional. Like you can get, let me see if I can show you. Where is it? There we go. So you can see there, you can get a fair bit in there with that by doing that little gusset at the bottom. So you can put a fair few things inside there. And then on the other side, I sewed on these cute little fairies. All of them have a little fairy, the next ones that you're going to see. And I sewed her, I just printed this off the internet. I sewed her onto this green paper and then sewed that onto the music paper. And I also sewed this expression. It says, fall in love with as many things as possible. You can see there. I had a little butterfly that Helen sent me. Thank you, Helen. And this beautiful Venice trim here is from Craft Supplies for You. Absolutely gorgeous. As is this applique over here in the corner. I used another piece of that mint green trim and then a little Wild Orchid Craft flower that I just had that was in the right color. So that's that bag, and I just used some flowers and paper, matching paper that I had. I think that was a Kaiser Craft paper that I used on the clothespins. And they just kind of sit on here like that. So they look cute. So that's that one. And then this one I love. You may recognize some of these beautiful items here. Let's start down here. Beautiful dangle trim from Craft Supplies for You. There's 2 layers of it right here. And all the bags are made in the same manner. I just sewed up the sides, and actually this one I glued. I'm fibbing. This one I glued. I wanted to try one with glue to see if it worked, and it worked just fine. I used this glue, the best glue ever, because it's my go-to paper glue, and it actually worked fine. I made it in the same way, so it's got that gusset at the bottom to make it puff out a bit more. Anyway, getting back to the laces, this trim here is from Craft Supplies for You, right there. And then underneath it is another beautiful trim from Julie's store, right there. And this trim Maggie sent me, so thank you, Maggie. And then this trim is a crochet trim, and I love this trim. It's one of my favorite trims from Craft Supplies for You. I absolutely love this trim. So there's lots of layers there. And then I used this little rosette trim that Helen sent me, and I stacked up some doilies. This doily here was a doily that the lovely Patrizia sent me, and I just loved the colors. And when I saw the color of this fairy, I thought that would go just perfectly with it. So I stacked that doily, and then these 2 doilies and the one on the top are from Julie's store from Craft Supplies for You, as is this little button here, which says Handmade with Love. The little butterflies Helen sent me. This lace at the top is from Craft Supplies for You, and it's got just a little iridescence to it and beads and pearls. I love it. And then Patrizia made me this beautiful little butterfly here. It's very dimensional, as you can see. And I just added little doodad flowers here to the butterflies. So that's that side of it. And of course I made another clothespin, but this one I used some metals from Craft Supplies for You. Just on the side, and then some resin doodads from my stash. And I actually had this crown, which was the perfect color, so I was happy to use that. And I used a little music note doodad that I had as well. And then on this side, you can see I have used a beautiful bridal applique from Craft Supplies for You. and another Venice trim from Julie's store at the top here. Little flower from my stash, and then this is the top of the bag here. This trim underneath here is from Craft Supplies for You, and I did avocado dye it, so I put that down, and then I put this little pink butterfly trim from my stash on the top. So as you can see, again, it's quite dimensional. You can get a fair bit in here. So I was really happy with that. So that's that bag. And last but not least, I have this bag, which has my friend's initial on it, but also the little fairy image had a little M on it for Mallow. So I just picked up that, and this little wooden M is from Firmly Designs, and I just embossed it. And here I've got lots of layers from Julie's store. This is a new Venice trim underneath here from Julie's store, Craft Supplies for You. And then this is also from Craft Supplies for You. I love this trim. It's a beautiful cotton trim. And then underneath that, I've got 2 layers of this very pretty circle trim from Julie's store. And then this one here is also from Julie's store. So I've layered up quite a bit there. This piece was from my stash, as was this little flower doily and these 2 flowers. Some bridal trim that I avocado dyed in pink. This butterfly was sent to me by Helen. Thank you, Helen. Little doodad flowers, sort of finish it off. And then here in the corner, I've got a beautiful applique from Craft Supplies for You. And again, I altered a clothespin, nothing elaborate, just a couple of flowers with some seam binding. And then here is the back of the page, and I've got another little applique up here from Craft Supplies for You. And I didn't really do anything to the back on this one much. I left this one, but this one is sewn. So you could sew or glue these. They both work, and but I think I like the sewing better. It just makes them a little sturdier to me, but I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it works out, but I think that my friend will like them. Well, I hope she will anyway. So there are my bags for her birthday gifts. I hope that you like them as well. And all the links to Craft Supplies for You will be in the description box below. So remember, she does ship international, and there are coupons at the store. So you'll see that when you first go there. And there's one, if you spend over $50, you get free shipping. And the other one is if you spend over $30, you get 20% off your order. So definitely go and check that out. And I know she's uploading tons of new goodies. So lots of things to look at over there. And I will be back with another project soon. Thank you guys for watching, and check out Craft Supplies for You. Thanks. Bye-bye.